Hello, it's your friend Phil here, Project Management Trainer and Coach. I want to go over what you need to know to get PMP certified. I often get the question, I want to be a PMP, what do I need to do? So I want to go over a few things with you. And the first thing I'm going to talk about is your experience. You need to have experience to take the PMP exam. And you need to have project management experience. Now, when I say project management experience, I'm not necessarily talking about working in a big old company as a project manager. You could have managed small projects, home improvement projects, scaled down projects in a voluntary position as a project manager and things such as that. So just bear that in mind. Under experience, we have experience for those who have a high school diploma as the highest level of education. So high school diploma. If you have a high school diploma, the PMI is going to be looking for 5 years of experience and at least 7,500 hours, right? Within those 5 years. If you have a bachelor's degree or the equivalent of that, not an associate's, and associates will fall into this category. But if you've got a bachelor's degree, they'll be looking for at least 3 years, and within those 3 years, 4,500 hours. And you aren't allowed to count back more than 8 years. If you go back more than 8 years, that will not be eligible for the count of hours, okay? Now, in addition to both of these, you need 35 hours of project management education. And we are talking about formal education, okay? So on both sides, you need those 35 hours of PM education. So if you've got these two pieces, bachelor's degree and 35 hours of formal project management education, or high school diploma and 35 hours of project management education with the 7,500 hours of managing projects, you are eligible to take the PMP exam. What is the PMP exam? The PMP exam is a 4-hour test of project management knowledge and application of knowledge. So you'll be tested for 4 hours and 200 multiple choice questions. Out of those 200 multiple choice questions, 25 of those questions are future questions possibly that are under test. So they don't count, you don't know which ones they are. So you have to do the best you can on the exam. I often tell students, don't ask the question, what is the passing score? Because you will not find the passing score. This exam is based on the Angoff cutoff technique, A-N-G-O-F-F. Go check it out. It's more like a sliding scale. And it's really based on the populace that are taking the exam at any point in time. So to pass the exam, you need to do as well as your peers are doing. In other words, you need to get at least a target overall. If you don't get a target overall, you won't pass the exam. The exam is broken out into initiating, planning, executing, monitoring and controlling, and closing. And across these, there are various possibilities. You could get target, you could get above target in an area. You could get below target, I'll just call that BT, below target, and you can get NI, needs improvement. So target, above target, below target, needs improvement. And it varies. Some students could have an AT, a T, a T, a BT, and an AT, and still pass the exam. So It's the overall combination of how well you do that makes you scale the exam or not. And that pretty much is it. If you meet those requirements and you want to know more, you need to go to the link below. Now, the exam, like I said, is broken out into these 5 areas, okay? So on your application form, they'll be looking for how much time did you spend doing this on one project? And then how much time did you spend doing it on a second project if you need more than one project to qualify? So you could have several projects listed out and the number of hours that you spent initiating. For example, something like this. This is how you would break it out, and this is what they'd be looking for in your application. So project 1, this is how my time was broken out. And in addition to that, they'll be looking for a description. Now, where people get it wrong is they start describing stuff that is not project management. You don't want to do that on your application. You want to address project management related tasks. I've had applications kicked back in the past, so I know what I'm talking about. I've had students with applications kicked back in the past. So when you're describing what you do in a project, be it in an agile setting or a predictive setting, you want to make these project management related tasks like perhaps you developed an initiation document to authorize the project. Maybe you call it a PID, project initiation document. That's fine, but make sure you relegate your project management work to the description. Don't bring in technical work and stuff that people will get lost on. So the trick is to keep this as project management related as possible. The reviewer will go through, and at the end, they'll determine if this passes for project management work or not. For example, on previous applications, I would put things like, I tested the application, I coded, I wrote test scripts. That does not count as project management related work. What could count as project management related work is if you managed the test phase. You see what I'm saying? It's not about testing, it's about managing the test phase. For example, it's about meeting with clients to review status. For example, closing would be conducted a final report session, for example, and audits for the PMO, for example, if there was one. Planning, an example of that would be developed the project management plan. You see what I'm saying? So on your application, you want to make these real project management related activities, not things you do in the world of programming or coding or testing. That, while it's part of the project, is not project management, okay? So if you want to know more about all this stuff, you think, wow, maybe I should go for the PMP exam, you need to go to our website. It's called Praizion.com, okay? If you really mean business, you're looking for someone to help you, train you, coach you for this thing, go to www.praizion, Praizion.com, and sign up for our project management professional course. It's also good for other exams where the PMBOK guide, the project management body of knowledge guide, is the main focus. It's good for a primer if you're taking the ACP, the RMP, the SP, the PGMP, and so on. But definitely for the PMP exam, you want to be on our training, okay? www.praizion.com. Look for my page on Facebook. And if you have any questions about the PMP exam, maybe you're stuck, maybe you're one of those students who's been trying to take it, to pass it, and you've been experiencing problems, you need to look at the channel. We have a page called the PMP Exam Failure Stamp Out, and it's free. And there's a lot of videos there where you can watch and get ideas for how to do better on the exam, okay? So I hope this helps you. I look forward to hearing from you soon. Don't forget, hit the link below, sign up, or ask questions. All the best.